Welcome to the Renaissance Achiever with Sarah Fui. Today we have special guest Charlie Kilione Fiafia Saanga Prescott, and he is a master storyteller. First of all, before I go on and read the rest of your bio, Charlie, I love that you put master storyteller as your first title because as a Polynesian, that is the history, that is the culture to be storytellers. And actually, I'll go on to read all of Charlie's bio. He's in film, but it just makes so much sense for Polynesians to be in film as having a history of storytelling. So I freaking love that. So Charlie is born in Hawaii, raised between Hawaii and Utah. And the dream is to bring to both big and small screens around the world Pacific Island stories from Pacific Island voices. He loves to eat and travel the world. And he's actually running two different poke restaurants. For anyone who doesn't know, poke is a Hawaiian raw fish dish. And so he runs two of those in Salt Lake City and Orem, Utah. And he's also known for working with Sundance Film Festival and Utah Pacific Island Film Series. He is a product of International Cultural Arts Network, where he worked on his craft for acting with admirable actors such as Cliff Curtis, Rena Onens, and Alex Tarrant. Thank you, Charlie, for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I first met Charlie in Atlanta, Georgia. You were out here a couple years ago. So he's currently located in Utah.
Yeah.
But I met him when he came out here for film because that's what my family is doing out here. My husband is also in film and pursuing acting. And so we connected with Charlie. You don't meet a lot of people from Hawaii out here in Georgia. So when you meet someone, you're like, oh, let's be friends. Not a lot of Polynesians out here either. And so it was cool to see these three Samoan guys that you guys all got together
Yeah.
in Georgia trying to act. And I just feel like that's so rare. So it's cool to connect with you while you're out here. And it was kind of a short-lived stay in Georgia. So you want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about what brought you out here and kind of what took you back to Utah and all of that? Because I actually don't really know the full story.
Yeah. I love every minute of being in Georgia. I moved out there because I have my beautiful family out there on my mom's side, the Nelsons, and they said, "Hey, come out to Georgia. There's some things happening out there." And I knew that there was things happening out there. Come check it out.
As far
So
as film, you mean?
as far as film, correct.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I came out there. I was gonna move to LA, but I decided to come to Georgia. One of my good family friends, one of my Hanai uncles, his name's Tanawai. He is a stuntman for The Rock. He said, "Come out to Georgia." So all these great people in my life were telling me to come out and trek to Georgia, just check it out. And I went out there. I got an agency out there, and they're kind of a big talent agency. And I thought that I was just gonna get work, boom, 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 or just get auditions at least. And I ended up like moving out there and staying with my family out there. Then I just ended up basically living the normal life that I wasn't trying to live. I got a job out there and it was taking so much of my time. And I was doing a lot of auditions and booking work, but it wasn't in Georgia, it was in Utah.
And you're like, I just left Utah.
Right,
Why am I booking gigs
exactly.
over there?
Right. So then I
Yeah.
kept flying back and forth to Utah and I would have these beautiful gigs and then I'd fly back to Georgia. And I was doing that for about a year. And I still wasn't booking anything in Georgia. I probably had like 3 to 4 auditions and that was it the whole time I was there.
Is that like a
So
year? Almost a
yeah,
year?
within the year in Georgia, but I was
Wow.
always busy with auditions in Utah and in Hawaii. I mean, God is good because He put me in the path of your family and Tupua and his family, who are the other someone brought us there in Georgia, right? And we would get together, we would practice auditions, we would do things like that, and it was really good. But again, life was just taking over. I was in a relationship at the time; it wasn't working out, and it was a long distance relationship. I was trying to get sober in life, physically, mentally, spiritually, and it just wasn't working out. And then I came to Utah to visit my family, and then I was still booking work like the hell. And I'm so grateful for that. And then I was like, you know what? I just gotta move back to Utah. So I packed up all my stuff, moved back to Utah. Again, I was so thankful for my family out there. I still am. I need to come visit them soon and visit you guys soon.
Yeah.
It just reminded me a lot of one of my favorite books is called The Alchemist. And it talks
Um,
about, right, I'm always on The Alchemist. It talks about this young boy who's a shepherd who goes on this journey, right? And I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but he pretty much goes on this journey to look for this treasure. And he finds that the treasure was pretty much where he was at in his hometown. But I didn't see that until now. It's been about 2 years since I've been back from Georgia. Came back to Utah. I've been working like the hell with my family shop, still booking things here and there, and in Hawaii and in LA. And I'm just starting to realize more and more that, I need to be rooted somewhere. I can be a gypsy and live that gypsy life, sleeping on family friends' couches in LA or in Georgia or even here, but I need to be more rooted. So this last year, I got my own apartment, and it's been so good for me just to see that I need to live life the way that I want to live, and then everything else is gonna come to play. And it truly has.
Mm,
It's still fun to make those connections with you guys in Georgia, and to be here as well, and just to have more of a foundation. I'm getting old. I want to
yeah.
have a family, and I want to be like you guys who are just full of art, but also have a family to create that legacy.
Okay, you said so many good things. I'm like, where do I jump in on?
Sorry, I talk a
First of all,
lot.
no, I love how you brought up The Alchemist. It's been so long since I read it, but that's one of my sister's favorite books. And so I know she's read it multiple times and I've read it as well. And it's like that you don't know what you've got till it's gone. And
Right,
so when you come back, it's that greater appreciation for it. And also you realizing I want to set roots and it's okay for me to set roots.
right,
And because I think it's a abundance versus scarcity mindset. We have this way of like, if I want to make it in film or if I want to make it in whatever thing I'm trying to pursue, I have to sacrifice all of these things so that I can get ahead. And then you're just chasing your tail, going all over the place. And then
yeah,
when you're finally like, this is what I want, I'm in my power, I'm grounded, I'm going to get my apartment, I'm going to get a really good paying job out here, settle, you're running really successful restaurants, and now things are falling into place and you're still succeeding in your film pursuits.
yes,
Yes, you can have both.
yes,
That's something that I coach people about. It's not this or that, it's a and. You can have this and that. And they bring up the whole family thing. A lot of people
yeah,
are like, you can't have a family if you're trying to pursue these things. And I'm not going to lie, it's a lot harder to
hmm,
pursue your goals when you have five very needy children, right? Not just one or
yeah,
two. We got five kids. And I just tell people you can make it your excuse of why you cannot, or you can make it your excuse of why you
hmm.
have to succeed and why you have to pursue your dreams because you want your kids to live their dreams. Then you better do it yourself, right?
Even with that, something that Georgia taught me, and I've cried about it. I've talked to your husband about it, to Pooh about it. It's such a spiritual experience for me. Is again, it goes back to that legacy and like what you talked about having the both. I want to be a dad so bad. I want to have a family so bad, but I thought no, it's not possible. But after coming out there and seeing you and your husband and our friends live what they want to do, and have their kids see that, that's exactly what I want. And it's such a powerful thing. And yes, it's not happening right now. And we got to get all these different jobs to make it happen. But that helps me see that these personal legends that we have grown up with, these dreams that we have, if we can continue to make those happen, it's like, see, now I'm just getting all over because
No, no,
it's
no.
that it's that mana, it's that vibes that we're talking about. And you guys have that in Georgia. Listeners, watchers, if you go and see these two families in Georgia, you'll see how blessed they are physically, mentally, spiritually. And that's what I want. And maybe I might come back to Georgia and find my honey over there and have a family out there and make things work. But that is one of the main things that I learned being out in Georgia is exactly what you've been on, is you can have both.
Yeah, and maybe
Yeah.
that's why you had to come out here, even though you
Yes.
didn't get the gigs that you thought you would
Yeah.
get. It's like, hey, Charlie, this dream that you have in your heart of having a family, you don't have to give that up in order to pursue this
Yeah.
dream you have in film. And
Mhm.
you get to have both. And I think a lot of people struggle with pivoting. And you said, you came out here for a reason and it felt like a failure. I'm sure at some point, why did I do that?
Mhm.
Why did I waste that time? It affected my relationship. It kind of set me back in a lot of ways. But when we zoom out, there's a bigger picture. And
Yeah.
I believe there's always a reason for everything that happens, good and bad. There's no good and bad. There just is. And when you can accept that and just roll with it, you're going to find the lesson in everything that happens. And so we would not be connected
You're
if you
right.
never came out here. And I think it's a blessing to know you. So
Thank you.
I'm glad
Hey,
that you
you as
made it
well.
to
Yeah.
Georgia. So I have some questions of how you even got interested in film in the first place. Where did that start for you?
So how I got into film is one of my favorite stories. My dad was a security guard for a lot of TV shows in Hawaii. And yeah, he's a big guy, scary guy, and he would bring us to set to come check out what was happening. And you know me, just as a kid, I love to see all these beautiful sets. So when I was little, he brought us to the set of Lost with the airplane crash scene. And I believe it was in like Mokuleia. And it looked real. Things like that would always amaze me. So when I was little, I told him I want to become an actor. So he took me to a talent agency. I went there for a little bit. I had to audition. It cost thousands of dollars. Probably a scam, but still, it it truly helped that fire burn throughout the
Yeah.
years.
It made it more of a reality for a kid, right? To
Right,
actually be like,
right.
"I'm going to an audition." That's so cool that your dad
Exactly.
supported you in that. Yeah.
He and my mom did, and they paid for all that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the
Yeah.
auditions that I would do was for Nickelodeon. So good thing I didn't get that. God said, you're not going to be on Nickelodeon because, it's a little dangerous. So again, it's that bigger picture that we talk about. So then I got out of it just because I kind of lost the passion. I hated getting rejected, got into just being a kid. Then we moved to Utah. And then I always wanted to get back into it. So I took theater class in high school and middle school, but it still wasn't there. But I still had that deep down burning desire. And it wasn't until like 6 years ago, I found an agency out here. I did some background work, and it just has been a huge blessing to be reconnected with my passion. And I'm all about passion because, like if you ain't living your passion and doing what you want to do, then what's the point sometimes?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're out here doing acting when it's like that makes no logical sense for us to have 5 kids, move to Georgia.
Yeah.
We
But
didn't
to
know
me, it
anyone
makes
out
the
here.
most sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, why live a job that you hate and go there every single day
Yeah.
for the rest of your life instead of doing something that you love? It makes no sense. And this
Yeah.
is actually something I talked about in the last podcast episode was the desires that are put in your heart are put there for a reason. And
Yeah.
they're not a coincidence or they're not for nothing or they're not selfish. It's part of your calling. And so when you just follow that, you're so fulfilled, but it's also what you're supposed to be doing, right? So wait a second. You said you just got back into like film and background work how long ago?
Maybe like 7 years. Yeah.
7 years ago? Dang,
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome because I feel like just doing background work and like dabbling back into it in 7 years to now being a part of Pacific Islanders in film and
Yeah.
traveling to LA and
Right.
all over for gigs, you're doing really well.
Thank you.
That's
And that's a
awesome.
good reminder. Yeah.
Yeah, you've come far in a very short time. That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
So what are you currently working on right now that has you excited?
I'm so excited for this TV show coming out called Chief of War. I've auditioned for it. I've tried to be a part of it, and I could not book a role. But that's showbiz, and that's totally fine. But somehow, some way, mahalo ke akua, I got the opportunity to audition to sing. And I didn't know what it was for, but I auditioned for this producer and I looked him up and I was like, oh, this guy's kind of big. And then they said, hey, we see that you live in LA. And I said, yeah. With these opportunities that are given to you, sometimes you got to weasel your way to them. So pretty much a lot of people think that I live in LA still or in Georgia. And I let that happen and in Hawaii because I can be there. This is my dream. This is my passion. I can be there.
You're gonna make it happen either way.
I'm going to make it happen. Yeah. And I
Yes.
know that you're very similar to that and your husband and those types of people. That's what we need in the world is, that will get there. So back to this, he's a composer and a producer. He was like, yeah, we want to book you for this gig. Can you speak Hawaiian? And I was like, yeah, I can dabble in that. So then I went to LA
Show us your
and
Hawaiian right now. Bust it
yeah,
out.
I'm gonna get canceled now. But nah. And then I show up and it was one of the most spiritual experiences. It happened to be for Chief of War. And Chief of War is this TV show coming out with Jason Momoa, with so many beautiful actors, like Luciana Buchanan, who is on The Night Agent, Cliff Curtis, who is one of my mentors and one of my favorite actors. All these people who are going to be on this TV show. It's about the history of the ancient Hawaiians, and some of it has about the colonization, and it is written by one of my uncles, Thomas Pa'asibe. So like it's all these beautiful things coming together. It's coming out August 1st. So I got to sing in it and be a part of it. And just that experience within itself was so powerful. And the mono was so strong. And I can't wait to see, maybe they might cut me out, but yeah, I got paid. No, just kidding.
No, just to be a part of that. That's
Just to be a
huge.
part of it. And
Yeah.
I called up all my producer friends after who are on Chief of War, and I was like, hey, because I thought that they booked me the gig, and they didn't even know. So again, it just shows that God has his hand in everything.
Yeah.
And yes, I didn't get the part that I wanted, which is totally fine because there's that bigger picture. I still got to be a part of this history.
Yeah.
Um, because they don't have TV shows like this.
No, yeah, it's a major show for Polynesians,
Yeah.
and you got to be a part of it. And what's even cooler is that it wasn't acting because God's like, "Hey, Charlie, you're also a singer, so you're gonna get
Which I
this."
didn't know.
Ah,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, now I gotta start moving into this direction, and
Yes.
it's like expanding your skills, expanding your resume.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I sang on the
Right.
soundtrack for this amazing series. You can add that to your book of
You
whatever
should
you've
have
done.
saw me. I'm telling you over there, I was faking it till I made it with all these beautiful singers. I was like, we are the world. I'm telling you, I was in it to win it. So projects that I'm excited. So that's one that I'm so excited about.
Mhm.
But that's the unicorn in the film industry to book something like that.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been working on little short films and things that my friends are doing, and that excites me. One of my friends just texted me right now if I can come to LA to be a part of his film. I got those flight benefits. Thank you. Shout out to those airlines. And I'm going to go help him because these type of people, they are literally the next generations of filmmakers. And when
Mm.
big TV shows come out like Chief of War, they're going to be looking for the younger ones of us, those who
Yeah.
have been treading along, like your husband, like me, like our other friends. And that's why I can't forget about what they're doing right now because these guys, they have brilliant minds of what they're
Yeah.
working on.
It's not thinking like, "Oh, this is too small for me to work on." You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's that abundance mindset is, does this excite me? Go do it. It's not a waste of
Yeah.
time. A lot of people are looking at, "Oh, this isn't gonna make me money," or "They're nobodies. I wanna work with people who have
Yeah.
connections." And those kind of people are limiting themselves because you wanna create art, you wanna create amazing things, and you never
Yeah.
know those people that you're a part of their film, where that's gonna go, right? They enter it into some
No,
film
for real.
festival and it goes big, right?
And it's just fun. One of my good friends, he straight said, I'll act any day. I'll dress up as a clown and just pretend. And ever since he told me that, I'm like, dude, you ain't lying. Sometimes this don't pay the bills. A lot of times it don't. But here I am still doing it and I love it. And I'm so grateful to have that fire that I've had since I was little truly become a bonfire. And
Yeah. You do
I
it
don't know
for
how
the
long it'll
joy of it.
last. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's pretty joyful.
And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck is they feel, "Oh, I couldn't ever act," or something, because so many people, they just look at acting as just A-listers.
Yeah.
People that have never had any experience in the film industry, they're just like, "That's impossible. We're never gonna be some
Yeah.
A-list actor," but they don't realize there's a million different things in film that you can be doing.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And not just acting, now you're moving into writing or producing or directing or
Yeah.
singing for the soundtrack, and I feel like a lot of actors are that way where they're Renaissance achievers, they're multiple passionate, about, like,
Yeah.
doing all the different parts of it, and there's so much creativity that goes in it, so it's like, it's for the joy of doing it. If that's something that excites you, like, go make some short film, go make some YouTube videos,
Yeah.
go audition to be a background in a film and just experience what it's like to be on set, and, like,
Yeah.
that could light you up so much if you just start following those desires.
Let's talk about you too. Like you are this singer, you're a therapist, and by the way, I always be jamming out to your songs too. But then here you are on set for this huge production. I don't know if I can say it. No, I'm gonna say it. On Moana, making lays, and your family is on this film coming out. That within itself blows my mind, and it just shows because you guys are ready for those opportunities, literally in your backyard.
Yeah,
Like I still
that
am
was
mind blown
incredible.
about that.
That was an
Right.
incredible experience, and so a background story for me is we just barely moved out here 3 years ago, and my
Yeah.
husband was a police officer living in Hawaii. We decided that wasn't the life for us anymore, and we said, "Okay, you gotta leave that job because it's affecting
Yeah.
you, your mental health, our family, our relationship." So he quit it, and then we're like, "Now what?" And he's like, "Let's what if we move to Atlanta?" And in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, hell no. I am a Hilo girl. I'm a Big Island girl. I love the ocean." And I was having the best year of my life, just learning how to surf and dive. And I was like, "I don't want to leave the island." But I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was just on my mind ever since he mentioned it. I was like, I think we're supposed to go to Atlanta because I feel kind of excited about it. And that makes no logical sense. Neither of us had ever been to Georgia. We didn't know anybody out there. We just knew there was a film industry and that my husband always wanted to go into film. And he actually had his degree in sound design for film. So he did sound engineering for
Wow, I didn't
film.
know that.
Yeah. But shortly after he got that degree, we moved to Hawaii where there's like no film on the big island anyways. And so he did a few small gigs, helped somebody with their indie film, a feature length indie film. He did the sound design for it. And that guy was traveling back and forth between Hawaii and Atlanta. And that's how we learned that Atlanta had a film industry because we didn't know that
Yep.
before. So anyways, long story short, from the time that he quit his job, within 4 months, we moved our whole family from Hawaii to Atlanta.
Crazy.
We got rid of everything and we had 4 kids and we are like, hey, let's go. And we went and we were trying to buy a house out here. We came up for one weekend to look at houses. And that was when the housing market was crazy in 2021. And he had his VA loan where we put in an offer in one house. It got accepted. We hadn't closed. We ended up buying tickets to move up here, like no cars, no nothing. We just only had suitcases of clothes
And
and
faith.
faith. And then my friend, I went to dinner with some friends, and my friend was like, "Oh, so what is your 5 year plan?" And I was like, 5 year plan? We have a 5 day plan. We're gonna get on the airplane, go to Georgia, and hope that we get this house. Otherwise, we're gonna be homeless and we don't know where we're gonna live. And so actually the closing on the house got pushed back a few days. So we ended up moving into a hotel for a few days, and the laundry wasn't working, and we were trying to buy a car, but we couldn't get a car loan until we closed on the house. It was crazy. God is good, and it worked out. We got the house, and we're still here. I think 3.5 years later. And our family back home was probably like, they're crazy. They're so crazy.
Yeah.
Why are they going to Georgia for acting? Who's an act? No one has ever seen my husband act in his life. I hadn't seen him act in his life. And it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna go to Georgia to be an actor now. And I know he was kind of shame about telling people at first. He had never done it. But
Yep.
you know what?
Same.
I want to say the very second acting gig he got, which was 6 months after we moved here, it was for a short film. And it was entered in film festivals, and he won runner up for best lead actor in this
What? I
film
didn't know.
festival. His second ever acting gig, okay? The first one was for a church film, which is internationally displayed. He got speaking roles. That was his first ever acting gig. And then the second one where he won, yeah, it was an incredible performance. And then there's other roles he did where I remember I was just doing an audition with him and I started crying because it was like an
Who
emotional
are
scene.
you?
And I
Yeah.
was like, you just made me cry. I didn't even know you could act. This is so weird. He's a good actor, and whoever knew. And so people who just feel like I'm too old or I've never done it, but you still have that desire in your heart, you got to go do it. You have to just go do that thing that you know you're supposed to do. And when you decide that I'm worth it or it's possible or I'm going to make it happen, things start falling into place. And it has not been easy for us since we've been here. We went through
Yeah.
a lot of hard things, a lot of up and downs, a lot of uncertainties, but we're still going and we're thriving. It's been a great move for our family all around. And so there's a plan. The universe has a plan bigger for you than you realize if you're just open to going with the flow. And I went off on a hella tangent, but
No.
what we're talking about, so coming back to what you said, if we hadn't been here at that time, our
Yeah.
family probably wouldn't have had these huge opportunities to be a part of this film, to be a part of the live action
Huge film.
Moana.
Like,
Yeah. And so it's just a blessing that we were here and we got to participate in it, my kids, and it's been a huge blessing for sure. And as far as you talking about following your passion, sometimes it doesn't pay the bills, but you do it because you love it. That is music for me. I was laughing because last month I got a deposit for royalties, $1.73. I'm like, keep that abundant mindset. When you get radio play, that's the best royalty money you will get. But from like Spotify, that kind of stuff, it's less than pennies for every
that's
stream.
wild. Yeah.
And nobody buys CDs anymore. And so to make money from music is really hard, but I'm never going to stop doing it because I love it. And so I'm going to spend my money to record and put things out. And if I were to perform again, I'm down to start performing again, but I'm just going to do it because I love doing it. And when you do that, you're going to be happier. You're going to be more fulfilled. There's no reason not to do the things that light you up, right?
And you guys got kids. Like that right there within itself is such a good example to me because you have it all and you just make it look easy, which I know it's not easy, but you just make it look fun as well.
It is fun.
It's
And
that
you know what?
hope. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it is fun. And with kids, it is fun because they look at you like you're cool. They don't know that I'm a nobody and dad's a nobody, but
No,
they
no,
just
no.
see us chasing our dreams and they're like, yeah, my parents are cool. And we actually are cool. So
You guys
they
are
think
so
it's cool.
cool.
And it helps your kids to realize, like, I can do whatever I want. You know how you tell kids all the time, oh, you can be
Yeah.
whatever you want to be. But really, you need to go to
I said,
college and
dude.
you need to get your 9 to 5 and you have
Yeah.
to be a doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever. No, you really can be whatever you want to be. Because look, we're out here doing all this random stuff.
And
For
didn't one of
sure.
your kids have a speaking role in the film?
Yes, I don't know if we're supposed to talk about that, but
Okay, sorry. No,
yeah,
stay tuned.
my 7 year
Right?
old got the. Oh, he was 6 at the time, 6 years
That
old.
gives me chickens. I'm telling you, when
Yeah,
you win, when you guys win, I'm winning. And that's
yeah,
how it should be.
yeah. Thank you. That's how I feel.
yeah.
I love that perspective. When you see other people winning, you're winning, and that is the abundance mindset of collaborators instead of competitors. And what I hear, I'm not in the film industry, but what I hear is that it's super competitive
Oh,
and
yeah.
that a lot of people, and you can speak to this or not, a lot of people, it's just a kind of cut through, especially LA, where you all want the roles and there's limited roles and it's all about connections and who you know and being in the right place, right time. And so there is a lot of competition. But what I loved about you and also our friend Tupua Ainuu, he's helped out my husband, giving him auditions that he auditioned for. Instead of being
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to hide it from you because I want
Yep.
the role. He's like, yeah, audition because if one of us gets it, it's a win. I freaking love that. That
Yep.
is true aloha. Our people is rising up. We're trying to help each other rise up. And if I'm not right for it, I hope you are. You know what I
Yep.
mean? That's so dope because that's how people win. That's how you gain trust. That's how you gain loyalty. That's how people know that they can count on you and they want to help you out when they do have an opportunity because they know that's your heart too. And I wish more people were like that, you know? So has that
I'm
been your
just
personal
grateful.
experience or have you seen the other side a lot too? I'm sure you've
No,
seen both.
that's been my personal experience. And this is a perfect segue. I really want to shout out this nonprofit that I've been so blessed to be part of. And it's
Yeah.
called ICANN. It's the International Cultural Arts Network. My Uncle Pa'a, who is the writer and producer of Chief of War coming out, he told me, hey, there's this group in Hawaii. It's called ICANN. And pretty much it's going to be all these actors coming to Hawaii and teaching those who are there about acting. You should go to it. So I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, sure. And then when I heard that Cliff Curtis was going to be there, if you know who Cliff Curtis is, look him up. Like, I was like, I don't care. I'm going to make it there. I was in Utah. I think it was in Georgia at the time too. So it was a 3 month course and it was every other weekend.
Wow.
I think it
In
was, and
person?
in person.
Dang.
And nobody knew that I wasn't living in Hawaii at the time. And it kind of made me nervous because I was like, frick, like, oh, how's this boy? What? Fuck what? You move Utah, then you think you back. But I made it to Hawaii, and that was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Right after I did that, then I realized, damn, I'm really out here trying to chase after this dream. Now it's gonna come. It's going to happen.
It's
The
inevitable.
universe, it is inevitable. And
Yeah.
that's because these people made such a big difference. And one of them, I'm gonna shout out three of them. Rob Suka, who actually was good friends with my dad when my dad worked in the film industry.
Really?
Uncle Brian Keolana, who is like the modern day Duka Hanamoku. He is the
Mm,
waterman who's worked on so many movies and TV shows. And then Big Ange, and that's like Angie Lepret, who is this little Asian Hapa lady who has made so many opportunities for me. She's a big producer. She's the one that did Chief of War with Brian and Suka. Like, they literally built this path for me. So when you talk about, like, of course there's like the negative of those people who don't want you to win. But I've
yeah.
just been so blessed with these people. And they just so happen to be from our home, from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And they
The
really
aloha,
have,
that's why.
right. Yeah.
I-
It gets me so
yeah.
excited because I'm telling you right now, they just filmed like movie in Hawaii in January. And I called them up and I was like, hey, I want to come work on this film. Or can you get me a part? And there's no way in hell I could be that confident 2 years ago. But it's because we built that connection and I see that they see me growing. They want to help me out. So here I am in Hawaii having this opportunity that it's not easy to get. And I was an intern over there. And it was just such a cool experience and I'm just grateful for that. Because again, timing is everything.
Yeah. And it just speaks to how important it is to have people in your circle. And not
Right.
just, oh, who do I know that I can use their status to get ahead, but people
Right.
in your circle who want you to win, who are mentoring you, who are where you want to be.
Yeah.
And so many people, they're out there trying to chase a dream, whether it's in the arts or whether it's just entrepreneurship, whatever, and they're
Yeah,
trying to do it alone. They're trying to do it alone without any mentor or knowledge or whatever, and you cannot. The ups and downs are so hard that you cannot survive
yeah,
without people in your circle that teach you, that help you, that shine a light, that give you that example of what it could be like and give you that hope and give you opportunities. So I love that you have that. And didn't you do something with ICANN in New York too? I feel like I saw you in New York
yeah.
for it
So
as
I
well.
went out to New York because they helped out with the film festival. And
Okay.
if I have the opportunities to go out there, then I'm gonna go. So I straight went. I've
Yeah.
been to LA with them, like here in Utah with Sundance, hanging out with Daniel Day Kim. All these opportunities that the old me would be like, oh my gosh, but I'm ready for these opportunities. And I
Yes.
know that my friends are too, that if I'm winning, they're gonna win. So it's just a matter of time till all of these things come together
Yeah.
if they stick with it. And that's why again, I'll go back to your husband and I'll go back to our other friend Tapua. The fact that they're still sticking with it, it's just a matter of time that one of us is going to pop off. And then, we're going to help each other eat.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I've been promising a lot of people, let's eat. So I'm just trying to do me right now.
Yeah.
And
You got to take care of
I'm
yourself
patient.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is ICANN specifically based in Hawaii? It's just a Hawaii program?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's so cool. I love that they have that. Okay, and you keep saying Pa'a is your uncle. So is he your uncle? Or you just
Yeah.
know him?
Well,
You're
Pa'a
his
is married
wife?
to my dad's first cousin. Yeah.
Okay,
Who you
Marie.
know, Marie, really
Yeah,
well.
I
Yeah.
I went to school with Marie, so we were in
Yeah.
social work together. I majored in
Which
social
is
work with her.
a
Yeah,
small world, yeah. So
yeah,
with Marie, that is my dad's first cousin.
yeah,
So he has been a mentor for me too this whole time, because I've been hitting him up when I heard he was a
yeah.
writer. I would hit him up for years and years and years, just
That's
to get to pick his brain. And now that he's popping up, he's helping us eat, but I still got to work for it, right?
yeah,
And it's just a matter of time. If we're putting in the work, and if you busy, but I'll see you at the top, whatever that top looks like. And that's why now I really got to do me, be here in Utah, because I was going to move to LA, but then the strike happened, the
yeah.
writer's strike and the actor's strike, and it was the worst timing. So I was like, I'm gonna stay here in Utah, and everything has been working out.
Was the strike going on when you were in Georgia? Was that part of why it was really slow when you were here, or not yet?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Like my agency that I was with, they shut down their Georgia branch,
Wow.
and they've actually been kind of struggling. Again, everything has happened for a reason, and it's just good to be around my family too
Yeah.
out here.
Well, also your family's business has been thriving because you're there
Yes,
working on it as well. So maybe that was part of why you had to come back to Utah
yeah,
and stay there. So I want to talk about that a little bit too. Navigating the day job while you're also chasing the dream and
yeah,
how it's not one or the other, but you can succeed in both and you can enjoy both. So what is your
yeah,
experience with your restaurant Savage Fish and your role in that? And
yeah.
like, do you feel like it's taking away from film, or do you feel like it's helping propel you to continue pursuing it? I just want to know your perspective on all of
And this is humbling too, because this is so new to me. For the last 2 years, I have separated Savage Fish, this poke shop, to my acting career. I never posted things together with me in it because I wanted to separate that. I don't want to be known as, hey, he's the poke guy. I want to be known as this pristine actor, that.
Yeah.
But Savage Fish has brought me so many opportunities in film. I will straight host
What?
people at Savage Fish to have meetings. Cooper, who is from The Walking Dead, and he came out to Savage Fish, and I straight hosted them. That right there within itself is such a cool opportunity to have Polynesians come to Utah and partake of our poke restaurant, right?
And have
And I've
Polynesian
had
food, yes.
right. I've had meetings with all sorts of producers at Savage Fish, good
Cool.
and bad. And what I mean by that is it didn't work out or it did work out. I've had people create short films and even feature films at our restaurant. So lately I've really been humbled and I've been being a part of Savage Fish's social media more. I've been in it, I've been making smaller skits, and it's been kind of going viral in a way. And I know that it's not me, it's my family and it's God has been really helping me see that you can make this work together.
Yeah, you're
So yeah,
merging the two.
shout out to Savage
Yes.
Fish. Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the new logo, by the way. I was like, oh, that's
Thank
dope.
you.
The fish
Yeah,
and the shape. Yeah, super dope.
yeah. Thank
So
you. Gotta get you some gear.
I love that you are merging the 2 because so many times our minds wanna separate these identities. I had a really hard time when I started my coaching business, and I don't wanna let go of the fact that I'm a musician. I feel like that's
Yeah.
a big part of my identity even though I'm not always doing something with it. And so writing a bio for Instagram or whatever, I'm like, "This is the worst. How do I say what I am or what I do that's important to me? Because I wanna say all the things." And then it came to a point where I realized, no, I can combine them all. And so now I'm starting to get into speaking, keynote speaking and motivational
Yeah.
speaking. And what I do is I play a couple of songs when I give my speech. So I'm
What?
sharing a story, share a motivational message, and then play a song that I wrote. It has a theme similar to what I talked about. And what I'm doing is I'm merging all the things. So when they say you are the niche or you are the niche, you're combining all these parts of you to do this one thing really beautifully. And here you are bringing your film and your acting into your marketing for your restaurant and your business. And it's adding that creativity. And I think a lot of people, especially with artists and creatives, they have a thing about content creation is not art. But it's
Yeah.
absolutely art. You know what I mean? It's
I'm starting to
creative.
realize that. Yeah.
It's creative, it's storytelling, it's funny, and honestly, going viral in that is only gonna help your film career because you're gonna be noticed. Like, "Oh, who's this
Mhm.
guy creating funny,
Yep.
entertaining content?" And it's also using those creative skills and
Yep.
strengthening them.
Getting
Yeah.
those juices to flow.
Yes, yes, and so you're combining that together, and I'm very entertained by all of that, so our followers should go follow Savage Fish. What is your Instagram? Savage Fish Poke?
Savage fish poke. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're entertaining, they're good. I have loved our conversation. It's
Mhm.
been super awesome to have you here. I love knowing you. Charlie's just good vibes, guys.
No,
Charlie's just
thank
good
you.
vibes.
I just have to say this, 'cause, guys, I have been taking Sarah's course of One Life to Live the last 3 months, and it's really helped me create boundaries and work on myself, my like inner child work. All these things have been helping me truly become a better me. And I'm always about progression. I'm always about becoming better. I can't wait to continue to work with you
Yeah,
with this next course, right? Because it's like it's helped me so much to just become a better me. And I'm excited. I'm
awesome.
turning 30 this year, so
I
I need to
love
do things
it.
to progress in life
I
again.
love it.
Mahalo
Thank you.
for
I
that.
love having you in the program because you're so authentic and vulnerable and real. And that's probably what makes you a good actor as well. But to have
Thank you.
that energy in the group just kinda changes the dynamic for everybody, so I love having you a part of it, and I love people who are just wanting to constantly grow and reach, and
Yeah.
so thank you for being here today. I have one last question
Yes.
for you, but what is a dream that you have in your heart that maybe not a lot of people know about? A dream you have that you wanna fulfill as a Renaissance achiever?
I want to be a dad. I want to be a dad. I want to raise a family, however that looks. I can have all these great thingamabobs and all these great things in my life, all these awards, but when it comes down to it, I want to be that awesome parent. I want my kids to be like, oh, my dad's the shit. I just want to be that example because I can do that on film. I can do that with whatever. But yeah, that's my dream that a lot of people don't know about. They might know a little bit, but yeah, that's like top tier.
That's your number 1. All of this doesn't
That's
mean
my number
anything
one.
if I don't get to be a
Yes.
dad.
Yep.
That's so beautiful, and I love that you're willing to admit that and that you even want that. I don't know
Mhm.
if that's every guy's dream, but it's so fulfilling. It is very fulfilling, and I know you're gonna be an amazing dad one day. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for
Hopefully, I'm
being
not going to
here.
be a 40-year-old dad, like running around my kids freaking 50 years old. They're only four.
Hey, man, 40 is not even old.
I know, but see, but you're 40, but you have all these young kids, right? I can't be 40 and having a 2-year-old run
Just
around and
starting.
then want more. Yeah, just starting. That's the one.
It's all good. Okay, so where can our listeners find you if they wanna follow you?
You can find me at Charlie Prescott on Instagram. Look me up on IMDb, Charlie Prescott.
Thank you, Charlie, and I'll put those links in the show notes as well so people can find your IMDb and also your
Sounds good.
Instagram.
Thank you.
And we'll stay connected, alright?
Send my love to the family. I want to
I
come visit
will.
soon, so we'll see what happens. Love you
I wanna
guys.
come
Thank
visit
you.
and eat some poke again.
Come on down. No, for real. You guys
Yeah.
come through.
Yes, for sure. So I didn't even mention to Charlie that I would be adding this song to the end of our podcast episode because this idea actually just came to me last night. I was jamming this song and I was thinking, this would be kind of fitting for what we talked about as far as chasing big dreams and going after that desire in your heart. And I think sometimes when you're in the middle of the journey, and you can't see the finish line, it can feel really discouraging when you're trying to live an unconventional life and you see people around you that are just okay with the status quo. And you think, maybe I should just step back in line and do the traditional thing. Maybe I'm crazy to think that this would work out or that I could achieve this thing, right? And so it's the messy middle. And this song is called Stay Delusional. And it's about holding on to that hope, even when you can't see how it's working out. You just keep going and keep believing that it is going to work out. And so this song is unreleased. I've never played it live. I've never really shared it. So you get to hear this song, Stay Delusional. Maybe you think I'm a loser, but I'm just having fun. You're so worried about what they think, but you can't please everyone. And they say you gotta do it this way, and this is the only way. But I ain't got time for your rules when I'm just trying to survive day by day. And so I'll stay delusional and hold on to hope. In my mind it's still a yes, even though all signs point to no. I can't let go, I've come too far, I can't let go. This world still needs dreamers, and so I guess I'll play that role. Or I'll play that role. Maybe my plans haven't turned out quite like I thought that they would. But once you grow up and know better, a change of plans is actually good. And they say you gotta stick to one thing, and this is the only thing. But I just can't help that I've got all these passions inside burning. And so I'll stay delusional and hold on to hope. In my mind it's still a yes, even though all signs point to no. I can't let go, I've come too far, I can't let go. This world still needs dreamers, and I guess I'll play that role. I can choose my own path, I don't need permission. And if I can't find my way, I know this is just the intermission. I hold on to the hope of this feeling that keeps pushing me on into a life filled with meaning. And so I'll stay delusional and hold on to hope. In my mind it's still a yes, even though all signs point to no. I can't let go, I've come too far, I can't let go. This world still needs dreamers, and I guess I'll play that role. Oh, I'll play that role.